Not getting your health and wellness questions answered at your doctor's office? Are you ready to take control of your health and well-being? Do you want the proper tools to set you on your wellness journey? Do you want to meet and chat with expert members of the healthcare team? Well, step into real time with Dr. Stacy. Hi, I'm Dr. Stacy de Gale, your personal physiotherapist and wellness consultant who wants to make sure that you live your best life. We'll be chatting with wellness team members and inviting you as you are the center of that team. And we'll be doing all of this while you are in the comfort of your own home or office. Join me in real time with Dr. Stacy as we discuss everything health and everything wellness. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Real Time with Dr. Stacy. I know it has been a while, but so much has been happening with COVID-19 and I had my own surgery on my right eye and life just happens. But we are here, we are back, and I'm so happy to be here with you and that you have joined me. Feel free to share this live stream because this afternoon I am excited to present a dynamic healthcare professional who I'm going to introduce very shortly. So just as a reminder, the goal of Real Time with Dr. Stacy, your favorite physio, hopefully, from Point Fortin, is really to bring us to a place where we can all say that we're healthy, that we are well, and that we can live our best life and try to do this without the use of excess medications, minimize our visits to the hospital, all in a healthy vein. And with that in mind, I thought it was very appropriate to start off the Christmas season talking with a dietitian. Yes, people, I know. Somebody said to me, Stacey, you're really doing this around Christmas time? I mean, it's time for black cake, ham, pastels, and we're talking to a dietitian about healthy eating. And yes, it is even more important that we remember that we must eat well no matter the season, whether it's Christmas, whether it's Carnival, whether it's just our day-to-day meals. And so it is my great pleasure to introduce to you Candida Khan. Candida is a nutritionist and dietitian. And during the interview, I'm going to call her by her nickname, which is Didi. She's also a chronic disease specialist. So we have permission to call her by her nickname. And actually, that's also the name of her business. Yeah. So we're going to hear more about her. But let me tell you why I have Didi here today. She's not only a dietitian and nutritionist, but she has devoted her life to promoting health and wellness and to reducing chronic diseases that plague our country. We know how much diabetes we have in Trinidad and Tobago, the strokes, the hypertension, the heart disease. And she has pledged her life through her advocacy, through her profession, to reduce the burden of chronic diseases on Trinidad and Tobago. And I am not going to talk too much. You all have heard my mouth enough. And I'm passing on to Candida. Candida, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. And I just want you to tell the people more about you.
Sure, thank you for having me. It's great to be here. Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. So basically, yes, as you rightly said, my ultimate goal is to add to everyone's win, to improve the quality of your life by helping to develop a healthy relationship with food and helping you to understand that it's really not just your diets and gimmicks. It's all about eating what you enjoy, but understanding your body effectively so that you could achieve ultimate wellness by nourishing to reach whatever health goals that you have. So my area of expertise in chronic disease management is weight, diabetes, high blood pressure, and high cholesterol levels.
So you said something very interesting there, and I want all the listeners to remember this, because quite often we like to go on these very quick fad diets, and sometimes they're so rigid. Sometimes we have to drink smoothies 4 times a day. We can't eat. And you said something about eating what we like. So you're talking to somebody here who loves chicken breast, who loves potatoes, who loves kale. So one of your goals is to teach us how to eat well, but still eat what we like. And how can we do that? How is that possible? Especially with Christmas coming. And a typical Christmas, we know, y'all who listen, don't pretend, we know that we're going to have ham, turkey, pastels, some kind of rice, some kind of cheesy potatoes, lasagna. How can we accomplish eating what we like, but still eating wholesome and eating well?
Yeah, it sounds really impossible, right? And I think that a lot of the times persons don't believe it because it's not talked about. I think that is promoted. What is promoted is the fast restrictive gimmicks, and that is pushed out there in terms of like advertising and all these things. And there's just looking in the corner saying, no, don't do that. It's going to lead to this. And then when you get this, and then you like, oh my gosh, but I thought I was doing something right because it was told to me, and I was told I can't eat carbs, and I was told and I was told I could only eat one, so I can't eat plants, and I was told I could only drink smoothies, and it's all of these things that actually the chronic illnesses that we have and in our bodies, because you are restricting and limiting yourself for no reason. Because you don't have to do that, right? So persons who have come to me have done those gimmicks in the past because they didn't know better, and they didn't know that right? And it's only, of course, through social media and watching my lives and everything that there's an alternative. So let me try the alternative, and when it works, it's like mind blowing, because usually what has been happening is that person develops such an unhealthy relationship with food, with the gimmicks, that so scared to actually eat, and when they join the program, I teach them, I want to educate them, because yes, it's about knowledge, about the misconceptions that were fed to you constantly, and helping you to identify not like foods are not bad and certain foods are not bad. It's just that if included is not safe. For example, drinking soft drinks, right?
Yes.
It's a sugary beverage. It has quite a lot of sugar in it. But if you look at the recommendation and the serving sizes for certain things that are as beneficial to your overall wellness, if you drink portions or the servings, you would be okay. Yes, the industries usually trick you, and you do have to understand serving size and portion control and balance for you. So with me, it's not like one shoe fits all. So you named kale, you named potatoes, and what was the meat?
I love chicken breast. Anything chicken.
It was chicken?
Yes.
Right, chicken breast, right. So that is a balanced plate, because the kale is a veg, right? The potato is a carb, and the chicken with chicken breast is the best part of it because it's the leanness, and that would be your protein. Now,
right.
About understanding how to rear fats, you don't have too much. So usually it has different methods, and I typically, there's like the plate method that I usually show, which is like behind me here, which is like you have your portion of your veg, you have your portion of your, and quarter plate your carbs, and then you have quarter plate your protein. And when you follow that
Didi,
simple rule,
can you tell us that again? Can you tell us that again? Because you're breaking up a little bit. So I want to make sure people get that. And don't forget, guys, feel free to add your comments, because I'm looking at the comments from 2 pages. So we'll try to get to any questions you have. A quick shout out to Jillian and Roshan. Thanks for tuning in, guys. So she's going to tell us again that simple formula that she uses. So listen well. This is one of the little tricks that we could use.
Yes. So typically, we tend to plate food with the carbs first, right? Layer the bottom of the plate with all the
Very true.
Then protein, and then just little veg on top, right? So it's more about the opposite. It's not so intense that you have to layer the entire thing with veg, but you have the veggies, I think, has to be more visible. So, for example, with the kale, make sure that it's visually on it at least half of the plate or 3/4 of the plate, right? Then you have your portion of carbs, which is usually like a quarter. If you have your potatoes, then you have your portion of your meat or your chicken on the other quarter of the plate. And that would be balanced. That is a balanced, perfect plate. Sometimes persons do the fruit, the veg, so quarter of the fruit, quarter of the plate with fruit, quarter of the plate with veg, quarter of the plate with carbs, quarter of the plate with protein. And so there are really a lot of different ways. And in that way, let's say, for example, you don't like to snack, you would get in your fruit already with the meat, because of course fruit adds to your immune system, overall wellness. You want to make sure right now during COVID times, you're boosting your immune system as much as possible.
Yes.
And persons, the issue that I have with this is that persons usually think that, okay, well, that means I have to pill pop. And when we go through the amount of pills that they're taking, they're double and quadrupling, and it leads to toxicity in your body when you overdose on your minerals and your vitamins and all those things. And simple things, when you eat balance and you eat what you love, like how I explained to you with your kale and your meat and your potato, when you eat in a certain balance and you understand that, then you're able to get all of the nutrients that you need through the food that you get. It's only if you have like severe deficiencies and other health issues that you would need the supplements. But percentages are usually like 1,000%, 2,000%, 100%. And it's like a lot. Already getting that in the pill is too much.
And that is so important, especially during COVID-19. People are reading and listening to all sorts of things, and they think that what they must do to boost their immunity is just, as you said, to pill pop. So they're taking zinc, they're taking magnesium, they're taking whatever it is. And the reality is your body is not going to accept all of that. It's going to excrete most of it. Plus, it's going to build up in your liver and create other problems. So I'm so happy that you're mentioning this. Yeah, and using food.
I'm so happy that you agree.
To be your medicine.
And coming from another person as well, because I preach this all the time, but for persons to actually listen, I think that we need to hear it from one person.
Correct. So guys, I hope you're hearing this. It's easy to get caught up, but if we are not eating right, that really is where everything starts to break down. Even if you're looking at weight loss, they always tell you 80% diet, 20% exercise. That is the ratio. Yes. So you have to focus so keenly on eating well. And Didi, I like this. I'm going to use that formula. I'm going to remember that half of my plate needs to be veggies.
But I'm going to try to remember it. Don't eat what you don't like.
Correct.
Right? So, for example, if you don't like this bitter melon that a lot of persons don't like, don't eat it, please. There's so many other vegetables out there in the world, and in Trinidad, you don't need to force yourself to feel like if you need to eat things that you don't like, but you have to be able to identify what food it belongs to based on what it's made of, and then eat accordingly. So, for example,
a good colleague of mine, as you said that, a physiotherapist in Tobago, Vern Allen, she always says that. She says, we have so many fruits and vegetables that are local. We have so many options. Eat what you like. We have it there in abundance. We don't have to depend on imported stuff because we have such a wide variety of excellent grade veggies and fruits. So I'm so happy that you pointed that out.
Yeah, and then there's the issue that arises with that, right? When persons actually sit with their bucket of mangoes and their bucket of fruit, or even think avocado is a fruit, avocado is a fat. Yes, it's a healthy fat, but anything in excess will lead to body fat gain, right? And when you
That's right.
overdo it with anything, even if it's avocado and it's a healthy fat, if you overdo it with fruits, it's not going to lead to a good outcome. Because sitting there with your bucket of mango is never going
Yes.
to be a healthy lifestyle that you should adapt to.
I have many
Of course, we
patients
love
who
our
are
fruits.
living with diabetes, and they said, I had fruit this morning for breakfast, and they're very proud of it. And I said, what did you have for breakfast? I had half a pawpaw, an apple, half a banana, and I almost collapsed in distress because in their mind's eye, fruit is healthy. But the reality is everything has an effect when it's overdone. So there must be a level of moderation. So guys, you see Didi's number up on the screen. If you want to contact her to get more ideas of how to eat more balanced meals, suiting what you like to eat, what you like to cook, her number is here. She's willing to chat with you and to really change your life through food.
Yeah, definitely.
Didi, something you mentioned earlier on with regards to the carbohydrates. So we also have people who say, well, I don't eat simple carbs. I eat complex carbs, which is good. But they eat about 4 slices of yam, 4 slices of dasheen, 2 slices of plantain, 2 green fig. Trust me, I had a foot care screening
Exactly.
session, and that's what these people say they eat. So
Yeah.
can you give us some examples of simple versus complex carbs, at least for people to get a
Yes.
gross idea of what's healthier than something else, maybe?
Definitely. I think that you see the misconceptions is like when we say something is healthy, everyone just jumps on it and just overdoes it. And they don't understand
Correct.
that this may be healthy, but there's a specific intake recommended for you that you should have that is
Correct.
different to me, is different to everybody else. And if you don't understand that, you could be overdoing it with something that's supposed to be healthy and
Correct.
then it becomes unhealthy. So it's really that, because we all want to think that we're doing the right thing, it's more like understanding, okay, yes, you could even include the unhealthy foods. And if you want to do like, for example, like deep fried things, or you have lightly pan fried, you have other ways of prepping, right? And you may not use the oil, but once you learn how to include it in a safe way and you balance your meals and you don't just sit down with a bucket of chicken and fry it and just eat it breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. It's not, it's more like understanding that. So in terms of complex carbs, yes, it's great because it has more dietary fiber than the simple ones. For example, whole grain rice compared to white. Now if
Yes.
you were brought up with white rice and you prefer white rice because the whole grain rice is very hard, takes longer to cook, it's not the
Cook.
same texture, it's not the same consistency, right? Because of course the processed rice is the white rice. So
Yes.
it's more like understanding, okay, what can you do to this white rice to make it more complex? A simple thing is to add on carrots, add on okra, add on
Yes.
pumpkin, add on broccoli, whatever veg you like that you think you could mix into the rice, that could actually bring up the fiber content of the
Right.
rice. You don't have to force yourself to eat down on the grain, but you can make it more complex, those nice veggies in there. And that's a really nice way to do that. And in terms of all of those wonderful grounds you just named, that is the main issue. Like when you see pictures of meals, when persons include all their ground provision, I swear the whole plate full. It's like
The
your
whole
ham, your
plate.
eddos, your plantain, your green fig, and they think that the green fig is a veg, and they think that well the plantain is a veg, it's a fruit, and they think that well I'm including all these different food groups, but you're not. That's actually one food group that you are eating right there, and that's just staples carbs. So even if it's
Correct.
if it's complex in terms of its higher fiber, it's not going to spike your blood sugar as much because load on your plate. That is what's going to send your sugar. You reduce the portion, and you probably had like again, it's all dependent on the person. their height, their weight, their goals, their blood sugar, and because I help persons through an individual level identify how to understand how to include things that they love and how to include their plates in a safer way. But that's really it, because it's more like, we just don't know and then we just overdo it. And the load of the carbs would then be the issue.
Yes.
It's just too much at that point in time. And then it will be so because way too much calories, your body does not need it, and anything in
correct.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
general plate method is totally fine.
Say that again, Didi. You're broken up a little bit. So guys, we must have some sort of technical difficulty. So I'm hoping that we hear Didi a little bit in a bit because, of course, internet issues. I'm not going to call any provider's name. Didi, you broke out a little bit. I don't know
method, with
right. Didi, can you repeat? Because we didn't hear you at all for about a minute.
Are you hearing me now?
No, we're now hearing you again. Yes, you're back.
Okay, great. Nice.
and guys, everybody's still online. And don't forget, guys, this is your opportunity. If you have any question to ask, because we're only having a brief conversation today. We're not going to be here longer than 30 minutes. So we just have a few minutes remaining. So if you have any questions, 1 or 2 people send some questions to me. So we'll get to that. But feel free to type in your questions now as Didi is here live. Didi, go ahead with that formula that you were telling us about.
Right. So even with the plate method, that's a simple of trying to identify how to plate the meals. And with that method, you can always make sure that you include your favorite veg and your proteins. Once you stick to that basic rule, and if you want to have your fruit meal, that's another one. But that being food groups and plating foods and all of that.
So let me ask this question. How are we going to get around black cake, fruit cake, sponge cake for Christmas? And I want you to tell us about some of the snacks that you have created yourself that are still fantastically delicious, but are still wholesome and healthy.
Yeah, because, my snacks, what I do is because I make it homemade, no additives, chemicals, preservatives, it's eggless, dairy-free, added sugar, honey as a sweetener. So in terms of cakes and recipes, you can control what you put in it. So you can readjust the ingredients to suit whatever it is that your health goal is. For example, if you have your cake and if you have eggs, if you have a lot of eggs recommended in the cake, usually the yolk has quite a lot of cholesterol in it. You could just reduce the amount of yolks and use more whites than the recipe says. If the recipe has sugar, like cups of sugar, different sweetener like honey, honey or agave or whatever sweetness your preferences, but they all don't spike your blood sugars as fast as grinding with sugar would. That is the whole idea behind it. So let's do anything, and you have your regular high-calorie, delicious cake, right? The aim is to understand portion control. So the next adjustment, because there's so many, I'm telling you, so many ways to include the things that you love, so many. So adjusting the ingredients, changing up the recipes, now going to the portion control. If you could manage the slice and enjoy just like a regular slice and tell yourself, okay, tomorrow I can have another piece if I want to. It's not like I have to only eat this today and tomorrow I can't have it the rest of the week. I eat half cake right now. No. That's the problem, guys, is because we think that we can't have what we want. So it drives us crazy. So it's more like telling
So true.
yourself, hey, I can have this slice now. I'm going to take home another slice, or take a slice, leave it in the fridge, have it again tomorrow, and enjoy that tomorrow. So I'm spreading it out, right? So you can enjoy a slice comfortably, because it's really portion control that matters, right? So it's not as big as you usually would have it. Try
Right.
to have less, right? You could drink a cup of tea with that. And with tea, without the sugar and
Mhm.
all of the other additives, if you just have like green tea or chamomile tea or something
Right.
nice and soothing, it helps to increase your metabolism, helps with that fat absorption, helps with your overall wellness. And drinking tea
Yes.
with your unhealthy treats could also add to the balance. Now let's
Yes.
say that's all you do and you want to enjoy a big slice, right? Next is that you reduce the carbs with a meal. So because
Right.
you know that cake is flour based, it's a carb. It has way more carbs than anything else in it.
Yes.
So what you could probably do is on your plate, you cut down the amount of rice by a little bit, or you take away
Yes.
some of the potatoes, So
Right.
or or whatever it is you want to do, or you have your Christmas bread. You reduce it, and when you reduce it, you come back to the calories from the cake, and that works it into your day without adding excess calories. So there's so many different ways
Ways.
to get the things that you love, and it
Yes.
really is about what works for you, what your preferences, and then trying to figure out how to make it doable, because healthy habits take time to develop, because you have to
Correct.
basically learn how to undo the misconceptions and the thoughts
Correct.
of food and everything, and it takes
Yes.
time. It takes
Even
time.
even in treating patients,
Yeah.
even in persons who are trying to stop smoking, for example, any bad
Yes.
habits that you need to change, it actually, the
Mhm.
study shows that you need to be consistent for about 12 weeks. And they say that
Okay.
once you cross that hurdle of
Yeah.
12 to 16 weeks, you stay on it naturally.
Mhm.
So guys, when we're talking about diets, I want you all to realize, yes, it's about portion control, but it is also about eating what you like, but doing it well, doing it sensibly.
Yes.
And this is also so important. I remember years ago, I would have 5 patients who would have gone to a dietitian and they would have gotten the same diet sheet. And
Oh.
out of those 5 patients, they never stayed on the diet because there were
No.
foods that they didn't like,
Yeah.
because of their activity level. Some of them got extremely fatigued because they were not having enough portion sizes,
Mhm.
etc. Thankfully, that was in the old days. That doesn't happen anymore. But I want the public to know that it is not sufficient to say, I'm going online, let me see what's a good diet. Because
Yeah.
the diet that Didi would be on would be different from me. I have a friend who's online, Roshan. Roshan is a gym freak. And the diet that he would need to eat will be very different from what
Yes.
I would eat because his
Yes.
needs are different. And so I want
Yes.
us to go into 2022 knowing that we have professionals to guide us on a journey, guide us according to what we require, not what a Kardashian said on television or one of the housewives did to lose their weight. That worked for them. It may not work for you. And
And
somebody just
usually
asked
in
me, Didi.
life,
Yeah,
it's just a
correct,
gimmick
correct,
to just pay to say
correct.
that.
So true. But somebody just asked a question about intermittent fasting, and I really want to get there before we start to close off. What are your thoughts on
Mhm.
intermittent fasting? And should
Yeah.
it be something that people stay on for an extended period of time if they're trying it as a diet?
Right. Well, you see, again, it all depends on your goal and what exactly you want to achieve. But I run away from any diets and any fasting and anything with those names in it, because I don't want you to feel, and you should never feel like you can't eat certain things. And and in terms of the intermittent, it's more like eating within a certain time frame and window. And what I've noticed is that usually the weight that you lose is not healthy body weight, and that's why persons do that
Yes,
whole yo-yo, the weight loss, weight gain, weight loss,
yes,
weight gain, because you don't lose healthy body fat, like, sorry, the unhealthy body fat, you lose muscle mass. And when you don't lose the weight in the correct way, you gain it back, and then you gain back more than your original weight, and
Correct.
then you're just like totally, lost it, and you hate food. So it's really that,
Correct.
what I do and what I'm trying to help listeners to do is focus on lifestyle changes and just come away from that whole restrictive gimmick thought process, because all of my clients are free. Like, they learn how to eat for their bodies, they learn how to eat based on what their likes and preferences are, and they just are very happy and healthy at the end of the 3 months. And yes, it takes time, but once you reach there, you're just like
Yes.
free. And you continue to eat what you enjoy, you keep your balance, you develop
Correct.
healthy body weights, and you overcome your chronic diseases, diabetes, high blood pressure, cholesterol. All of these things can be overcome. It's just that you have
Correct.
to basically retrain your mind and come away from all the things that were promoted and pushed onto you. So I really don't do the diets. I don't.
And I completely agree, and I see it. I see it in, for example, when I started playing mass. I remember the first day I went on this fad diet, so I could lose weight quickly. Man, I look hot in my costume, but guess what? I didn't have much energy to play. I was snappish during the diet because I was unhappy. I had to be eating grass and drinking grass for weeks, and then I put on more weight when I was done. And so it is about making sure that even while we're on this fitness journey, this wellness journey, that we remain happy. And food provides joy, as well as it can cure us of so many diseases if we eat
Yes.
well. And I know you have your premium lifestyle program, which is aimed to assist persons to overcome their chronic diseases. So you're not talking about this pulling it out of a book. You have experienced this with your clients.
Yes.
And so, guys, if you have someone who you want to get on that road and you want advice, please contact Didi after the show. Her website is fantastic. It's simple, but so much information. Visit her website for more information. Didi, we've passed the 30 minutes. Just a bit. So I'm going to try to wrap up. Guys, you want her back? Let me know. Message. We don't want to keep you all too long. But Didi, I want you to give us some words of wisdom to carry us through Christmas and to carry us through COVID-19. It's a reality. I know people who are at home, they're overcoming it. A lot of them, they don't have the zeal to eat, and those who are not eating are not doing as well. So give us some words of wisdom just to close off this part of it.
Sure. So the truth is, in terms of illness, right? And I always say this in my lives, if you ate your way into it, you can eat your way out of it. It's just about understanding how to include foods that you love in a safe way that works for you. So it's not about what you Googled or what works for anyone else. This is about developing something that's suitable for you. And, with the pill popping situation, it's really, sometimes it's too much. It could be toxic. It could cause other health concerns and other health issues. And what you want to focus on is understanding balance and understanding how, like, just eat favorite things. So yes, we have tons and tons of fruits available. What are your favorite fruits? Make sure you get your favorite fruit every day. We have a variety of vegetables available. If you are not well, you can stock up on some soups, and you can have some soups and try to keep warm and have your lemon water and your honey. And you could replace all of your unhealthy soft drinks with teas and water. And if you want to fruit infuse your water so that it tastes better for you, there's so many different ways. It's just that I want you to understand that it's more like food is not a bad thing, and eating can either add to your illness or add to your wellness. And you want to really focus on balance and learning about balance and understanding how to eat what you love only. Do not force yourself to eat things you don't like. It does not make any sense at all. Eat things that you love and be happy and healthy, because that's the whole point. Happiness and health goes hand in hand. Without happiness, you can't have health, and vice versa. And I'm here to help.
Thank you. I want to read a comment from my friend. Thank you, Roshan, for staying on for the duration. And he made a comment and he said, Didi, people who have knee surgeries and problems such as that, who are overweight and need to lose weight to avoid putting pressure on the knee joint, both Dr. Stacy de Gale and Didi come into play. So Roshan has said something that there needs to be collaboration. You need to see a dietitian and you also need to see your physiotherapist because there's a role for all of us to play. So thank you, Roshan, for that. Thank you, Jillian, Glynis, Naila, Aisha, Mr. Herbert, everybody who joined in, everybody who I didn't get to say hello to, Richard, Ramaj, thank you all so much. I know that there's so much we could have discussed, but I think that that Didi has taken us on the path that we need to go, that we need to be mindful of portion sizes, eat more wholesome foods that we enjoy, but have a better balance. And if you are unsure of what balance is good for you, please contact Didi, go to her website. You could also call her. I had this information during the entire show coming up on the screen. And if there's anything you would like to ask her, feel free to email me as well or WhatsApp me so that I can ask and I will post it on my Facebook and Instagram pages for our benefit. Didi, thank you so much. I already see you're ready for Christmas. And because I see a tree up in the background, I just have my boring banner. But Merry Christmas to you, to your mom. Thank you all. Everybody, I wish you a safe Christmas. For those of you who might not be feeling up to par, we wish you good health. For those of you who may have lost loved ones, we keep all of you in our hearts and our prayers. It's not an easy time, but we are still here. So we need to live as well and as healthily. I don't know if that's a word. It's going to be a word today. We need to live as healthy as we can. And an idea of a good gift for the Christmas season is to go on Amazon.com. Didi actually has her own recipe books. I mean, we need to support local. And sometimes I look at the newspaper articles and I'm sometimes frustrated when I see they quote professionals from overseas. We have professionals right here who are doing the same and even more work. So go to Amazon.com. She has 50 guiltless people, 50 guiltless chocolate recipes. She also has a recipe book, simple, quick, and easy cooking, especially for those of us who are on the go and we use the excuse that we don't have time. And she also has a recipe book specifically for those living with diabetes, managing your diabetes. So please, guys, visit Amazon.com. Give a gift of health. If you need physiotherapy, contact me. If you're not in the Point Fortin area or San Fernando area, let me know and I will guide you to a physiotherapist who may help you with your aches and pains at the same time. So guys, it was a pleasure. I thank you all so much for tuning in. Message, let me know. Didi is willing to be back on for you at any time next year. And trust me, next year we're going to have a bumper year with other health professionals to keep us on our health and wellness journey. So guys, again, it was a pleasure. Have a safe and wonderful Christmas, and we will see you very soon in 2022. Bye. Not getting your health and wellness questions answered at your doctor's office? Are you ready to take control of your health and well-being? Do you want the proper tools to set you on your wellness journey? Do you want to meet and chat with expert members of the healthcare team? Well, step into Real Time with Dr. Stacy. Hi, I'm Dr. Stacy de Gale, your personal physiotherapist and wellness consultant who wants to make sure that you live your best life. We'll be chatting with wellness team members and inviting you as you are the center of that team. And we'll be doing all of this while you are in the comfort of your own home or office. Join me in Real Time with Dr. Stacy as we discuss everything health and everything wellness.